Automotive IFE. I fix everything.
In today's project, I'm going to jump in the time machine with Marty and travel back several decades. From there, we'll take a look at some of the hundreds of woodworking projects I've built over the decades. My woodworking took a turn when I bought a new tool called a trim tramp. While I was explaining its accuracy and ease of operation, I was asked, "Can you build a shadow box?" I said, "I don't know, what's a shadow box?" So I looked around for some examples of shadow boxes that were being built at that time. The shadow boxes I saw seemed challenging, so I decided I could build a shadow box if I did my best. It took me more than a month, but here's the first shadow box I ever built. I was so surprised when the compliments poured in, people saying, "This is the best shadow box I've ever seen." This is Chief Mikow. He's the one who asked me, "Can you build a shadow box?" Now I had to build more. His was the number 2 shadow box I ever built. He was so pleased with it, he paid me $300. That's 3 times the going rate at the time. To reduce my cost, I had to change the design. Not everyone could afford a $300 shadow box. This box was built from natural cherry. It's a 20 by 24 shadow box with a 3 by 5 nylon flag. This is a walnut shadow box, 20 by 24, with a 5 by 7 casket flag. There are 5 stars displayed in 3 rows. This customer chose a red, white, and blue theme, a red cherry frame with a white velvet background to accentuate the blue field of the flag. This unique shadow box is for a chaplain. There is no flag, a folded stole is the center point of this box. The accent corners simulate bullets as a representation for his prior service in the Army. This white oak box with a portrait layout was chosen to accentuate the rank progression of this female non-commissioned officer. This box design belongs to Kelly Kruger, the man pictured here. It's a birch and cherry box with a flag in the lower right-hand corner and the rank climbing the elevation. It also has a unique ribbon design where they're wrapped around the circle like a clock. I'm sad to say Kelly passed away within 30 days of his retirement. This customer wanted a box with purpose. He asked me to insert this clock in the corner to give it a real function. This box is built from locally harvested honey locust with its signature raspberry colored streaks. This walnut box has a 5 by 7 flag supported in the upper left corner. This is my preferred location for a corner-mounted flag. The stars are located in the flying position. This is a 20 by 24 white oak display case with a red velvet background. This birch box has been accentuated with 4 layers of walnut trim. This white oak case with molded sides and sculpted base was custom made to fit the flag folded by the honor guard at a funeral ceremony for a veteran. The white oak flag case was designed to be hung on the wall. This flag, with its unique stars and stripes display, is not according to military tradition. This flag case with its twin candles was designed to honor a brother and sister who passed away too early. The flag was folded by the honor guard during the ceremony. It was rushed backstage, where I installed it and unveiled it in the closing of the ceremony. This is one of my earliest flag case designs and was filmed at Niagara Falls, New York. This is the same box, some 2 decades later. This is a cherry flag case with an integrated certificate frame below. Another key feature is the birch trim that accentuates the stars of the flag. After several years of building shadow boxes and other woodworking projects, I decided to upgrade my woodworking equipment. I bought a Felder BF741X built in Austria. You may look at it and think it's a table saw. It is a table saw, but it's also a router, shaper, joiner, planer, and a mortiser. It includes a 9-foot sliding table and a power feeder. When people hear combination machine, the first thing that comes to mind is a shopsmith. Look against the wall behind me, you will see a shopsmith. You will also notice there's no comparison. Instead of starting small, my first project with my new machine was quite an undertaking. I decided to build a walnut gun cabinet. And here's the material I began with: walnut boards that were not true, flat, straight, or even smooth. The first step is to true one edge so I have a foundation to measure from. I carefully aligned the rough edge of the board with the table saw blade. With the board firmly clamped in place, I pushed the sliding table and trimmed off a sliver of rough sawn wood. When all the boards had one true edge, I used a sheet of plywood as a straight edge guide to hold the boards parallel to the blade. Now I trimmed away the other rough sawn edge and had a set of perfectly straight, parallel boards. Next, I flattened one surface of the boards with the joiner and passed them through the thickness planer. I used a series of router bits to make cope and stick joints and raised panels, and here's the results. I added some crown molding, door latch hardware, and even a waist molding. This was the first project I built with this new machine. There was a learning curve that I had to overcome, but it came out very well. I had a customer stopping by for a custom-built shadow box. She wanted to see some box designs and materials so she could better make her decision. This is a small sample of some of the different wood color and grain pattern that I had available. In this photo, I'm using a router bit to profile the edge of a flag frame. This is a collection of wood sets for shadow boxes and a picture frame. The longer red boards are aromatic cedar. This double beveled cedar frame with its walnut insert was designed to pull your eye into the winter scene. The close-up of the corner bevel shows the level of detail. This photo was taken after a tornado took out approximately 25 trees on our property. The wood was initially cut into firewood. It's Osage orange, a very dense native hardwood to the Midwestern United States. I decided I would process some into lumber. Because the wood was sawn into quarters, it lent itself to quarter sawn lumber. Quarter sawn lumber is the strongest, most stable, and most expensive. I trued one face on the joiner before taking it to the bandsaw. The first attempt to cut the Osage orange on the bandsaw was completely unsuccessful, so I hand sharpened the massive blade with a Dremel tool and a lighted magnifier. I was able to resaw one billet before I dulled the blade and was unable to continue. So I replaced the bandsaw blade with a carbon-tipped blade. It cut through the Osage orange effortlessly. I stacked the wood on a pallet. It's been air drying for more than 10 years. Here's a small sample of some of the special projects I've been asked to build over the years. This is a display case that's used for a promotion ceremony for Chief Master Sergeant. During the ceremony, a candle is lit for each of the ranks the person has achieved in their career. This portfolio, as it's known, is a going-away gift for a high-ranking officer. The inside includes a plaque and a photo of well-wishers. This is a wedding arbor picture frame. It's designed to hold the wedding couple standing in the arbor. My neighbor is an accomplished artist who painted this ballet dancer. I chose this painting as a Christmas gift to my wife. The birch frame is composed of 24 pieces cut on a compound miter saw before they were equipped with such modern features as a laser. This very special box was built to honor a fallen service member. He was a World War II pilot that was shot down during battle. The left side contains his logbook. The right side contains a silk scarf emblazoned with a map. The map is folded to show the location of the battle. This display case, like so many others, has a story to tell. This K-bar knife was used by a Marine prisoner of war to kill the guard and escape the POW camp. This birch break front shadow box with its crown moldings, applied columns, and sculpted base was commissioned on nothing more than a sketch on a post-it note. The left and right panels are red velvet, the center is white, of course, and the blue field. This ornate beveled cherry flag case was inspired by the works of Thomas Chippendale, an English furniture maker. This was commissioned by a female non-commissioned officer, and the photo in the pendant is her from basic training. This project began life as another Chippendale-inspired design. While thumbing through my sketches, two chaplains looked at this design and said, "That looks like a church." I hadn't thought of it that way, but I altered the design to be a cathedral. One of the key features that I like the most is the accentuation of the stars and the corners around the specialized items. This box with its rich accents and multiple layers has become one of my favorites. After this box was unveiled for the retirement ceremony, it received such notice that an article was written in the base newspaper. This is my display case. The boxes are built from birch with Purple Heart inset frames. The picture frame is rosewood with an Osage orange inset. The base and upper cross support are made from cherry, and the stanchions are made from European pear. The Purple Heart trim frame stands proud of the tapered birch flag frame. This gives the effect of making the box seem even thinner. The base of the flag frame is beveled to match the viewer's line of sight. This gives a more natural look and reduces glare. To precisely place the stars in the center of the opening, the bevel joints had to be reconfigured with an accuracy of 1/10 of a degree. That's me in 1981, sitting in the cockpit of a TF-38 Talon. I served 26 years in the Air Force and retired as a Master Sergeant. I received 2 maintenance badges, Master Technician for inspection and Master Crew Chief for the launch and recovery of B-52s. During the Gulf War, I was deployed to the United Arab Emirates as a maintenance supervisor. I was a liaison for the British Tornadoes, the 2 Squadron, and the Australian Air Force. This display case was built in 2008 and has never been completely finished. This box was built for my neighbor, the Flying Dutchman. I worked round the clock for 3 days getting this display created in time for his funeral. It's built exclusively of aromatic cedar. This audio equipment rack was built from birch and birch plywood. The column supports are drilled to allow all thread to pass from the bottom to the crowns. For moving and storage, it can be disassembled in minutes and all the supports stored in the base. This was a very unusual commission. I was asked to build a lightweight wing-inspired tonneau cover for an early model Chevrolet pickup truck. I needed some additional storage, so I designed this New England-style barn 12 by 12 by 12. I built this Christmas card display from mostly recycled materials for a competition. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and learned something along the way, please like and share. Remember, subscribers are always welcome. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below.